everybody. It's Kyle. Woo! Getting close to that New York trip. Looking forward to that one. So much stuff going on surrounding that and planning and getting all that taken care of. It's been pretty amazing. Again, I probably won't do an episode while I'm on this trip. I definitely will not do an episode while I'm on this trip. I don't know when I would have any time where I'm not around everybody else, and it'd just be kind of weird doing that because I don't think any of them wish to be on the podcast. So, and I wouldn't have anything like that planned anyway. But yeah, it's exciting. I mean, we've been kind of putting all the final touches on reservations and stuff like that. Of course, you know, the airline, of course, yanked another couple $100 out of us so that we can get quick seating. It's ridiculous, man. You used to go online like, 24 or 36 hours before your flight, and you could get in line then. They don't allow that shit anymore. Now they're going to charge you. It's absurd. It's just like, I don't know if you guys have heard this bullshit about movie theaters now. They're charging people for the good seats a little bit more. Now, of course, they give you discounts on the shitty seats, but that's garbage, man. It should be a first come, first served basis. You know, if people are too fucking lazy to get on there and buy things in advance, then they shouldn't be given some sort of fallback. It's just ridiculous to me. I look, man, I'm all for making life easier for everyone, but what I'm not all for doing is giving everyone an excuse or an out to not be responsible. And to me, those are the little kinds of things like that. Like, oh, most people aren't responsible for going online and registering to make sure they get, passes to get on the plane earlier than other people. Okay, so what? That's their problem, right? Most people aren't responsible enough. They don't get on in time to go get the good seats at the movie theater. So, I just don't understand. I mean, what's next? Are they going to start doing this like in theaters? So, concerts, they already kind of do, I guess. But I mean, it's still first come, first serve on those things. You buy the tickets earliest, you get the best seats or the pick of the litter or whatever. I don't understand. I know it's a way to make money. I do understand it. It's greedy capitalism, right? Which I understand capitalism and consumerism and all that. And I know that's our society and that's fine, whatever. But how much is enough? I mean, that's the real basis of the issue for me. How much fucking money do you need? Right? I know. I'm griping and I'm supposed to be talking about things that are going good in my life. I'll be honest with you, lots of things are going really good in my life. So there's not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, kids are doing great. Work's been great. Life's great. We got this big vacation coming up. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be a whirlwind deal. As soon as we get on that plane to go to New York, it's going to be a whirlwind situation until we're back from that St. Louis volleyball tournament, which is the last volleyball tournament of the year. So we kind of got that going for us, but it's going to be a nonstop zoom here and there everywhere for, 2 weeks almost. Not quite. About a week and a half, really. But that's okay. That's kind of part of life. So many memories are going to be created at both of those things that it's easily worth that. So we're really looking forward to this trip. It's going to be a lot of fun. We did go ahead and get like these kind of water resistant. They say waterproof, but nothing's waterproof. These nice water resistant jackets for everyone because it's going to be a little bit rainy here and there. And that wind blows up pretty hard, as I recall it. So we got those for everyone, and they're fleece lined, so they'll be nice and warm too. A lot of the ones we got I think they're almost all tactical jackets. So like the ones that I know Chris and I got are called Free Soldier brand. But I mean, it's pretty wild how these things are set up. I definitely appreciate it. One thing I don't like the way the hood rolls up. But everything else about that jacket I really love. The amount of pockets, where the pockets are, all that stuff, just makes it safer, I think, on trips like this. Pickpocketing where people bump into you and pick your pocket, that's kind of a thing of the past. I know it still happens, but it's pretty rare. I always keep my wallet in my front pocket anyway. But it's nice to have alternatives, so you can put that up in your jacket, maybe in your arm zip-up pocket or inside, or I don't know. There's lots of places you can put it. But yeah, so we each got one of those, and then a few other little things here and there, just to kind of make the trip easier for everybody. I know the big concern is going to be April, and we hope she's going to be able to handle these walks, because it's a lot of walking. I mean, even when we land and get from the airport to, which I've already set that all up, the car and everything, even when we land and get to the place that we're staying, we're going to have to go get groceries. And so that's a cool 10-minute walk, which is not that big of a deal, right? Most people are like, okay. But when you had replacement knee surgery and you've got other issues going on and stuff, it is a big deal. So we're really hoping that she's going to be okay and be able to get through this, and it doesn't hinder her too much, because New York City is a ton of walking. Any city really is a lot of walking. I mean, maybe not LA, because everybody drives everywhere there, but yeah, I mean, Chicago's a ton of walking. New York makes Chicago look like a junior edition of a city, so it's big. But anyway, we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. The place we're staying is awesome. We got a lot of nice things planned as far as what we're going to go do and see. And it's going to be a great trip for sure. And then the St. Louis trip's going to be awesome too. Going to be some real challenges there for our team, the volleyball team, but it'll be pretty cool. And we're staying in a hotel that's a casino. So it should be nice and safe there. I know there's been some issues in St. Louis recently, actually even involving someone who played volleyball. There was a girl who was there for a volleyball tournament, and I guess it's some guy who should have had his probation revoked a few times, who had gotten in a stolen vehicle and was trying to evade police or something, and wrecked into another car, I think, that pushed up against her and pushed her, but kind of squeezed her between the car and the building, and she ended up having to get both of her legs amputated, a teenage girl. And so that kind of shit you hear, and I'm not a big St. Louis fan anyway, and I know it's not the whole town. It really isn't. I've just never been a fan, mostly because of the Royals. But going to St. Louis a couple times, maybe even less of a fan of that town. And so I don't have a real high opinion of it, but yeah, crime there's pretty rough and pretty rampant. It is in Kansas City too, when you go per capita, but it just doesn't seem as prevalent here as it is in St. Louis. So I'm kind of happy that we'll be staying at a casino. I mean, if there's a place that's pretty secure, it's a casino. They got a lot of security people, and we'll mostly be inside there, except when we go over to watch the games, which is in an adjacent building. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, looking forward to all of this. It should be a pretty good time. And there you go. But that's about all I got. Things are going good. I've got some stuff to talk about on what I'm into right now. I'm going to take a quick break, throw it over to Kyle, and I'll be right back. Let me go ahead and throw it over to him. Hey, Kyle. All right, and we're back. All right, so what am I into right now, music-wise? Well, I really don't need to be buying any more new records for sure, but I did get The Strokes, the first album, and it sounds great. It's a good one to put on when you're like, cleaning the kitchen or cooking or something like that. It's a great one. If you got some stuff you're working on, it's a good one to have on. So that's pretty exciting. Been listening to it and really loving it. And other than that, I mean, just listening to a lot of the stuff I've talked about recently. And I've added a lot of this stuff to the playlist, so go check it out if you get a chance. But yeah, nothing really super new or interesting. Again, I'm kind of building up to Record Store Day. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. And that's coming up here in April. So let's see. What have I been watching? What kind of movies? What kind of TV shows? I'll tell you what. I'm starting to think getting a YouTube Premium subscription would be smart because the ads are just out of control on there. And I watch a ton of stuff on YouTube. A ton. So it might be smart to think about that. And so I'm going to consider that and think about that because, it might be a good idea. I don't remember how much it is per month. I know it ain't super cheap, but dude, there's so many freaking commercials on there. It would be a welcome situation. All right. What else? I mean, not much else. We watched another White Lotus. We're kind of taking those slow, that second season. But man, it is so good. That show is so well made, so well acted. Mandalorian last week. Really interesting episode. Very, very different from all the Mandalorian episodes before this. One thing I remember about Book of Boba Fett is there were a couple episodes in there later in the series which were Mandalorian episodes, but they're just stuck in Book of Boba Fett. They seem to have precious little to do with Boba Fett, but there they were. So kind of interesting. I feel like they kind of did that a little bit on this last episode of Mandalorian because they go back to, I think it's Coruscant, the planet that's a city, the whole planet, where the what do you call it was, their Congress and all that stuff in episode 1 through 3, where the Jedi Temple was and all that. But they went back there and they showed some stuff that happened with some of the characters from really in the first season and maybe a little bit in the second season as well. And how they're living in amnesty housing now and trying to, make their way through daily life after the Empire's kind of been crushed again. And it's interesting. It's an interesting episode. I probably wouldn't have had it pegged for a Mando episode, especially because the Mando episode starts out so crazy. Like there's a dogfight scene between some ships, Imperial, like the super TIE fighters, the super fast ones like Darth Vader had in the first Star Wars. Man, I'm really nerding out here. TIE Interceptor, I think they're called. But there's kind of a dogfight situation with them and Mando and with Bo-Katan's ship. And that's pretty wild right at the beginning of the episode. And then all of a sudden you're taken away to this situation on Coruscant, which has zero. I mean, Mando's not there. Grogu's not there. That's all anybody really cares about. So pretty wild. I love how there's all these spots around. This dude chooses to park right exactly near me. It's just weird. When people do that shit, I'm just like, what are you doing? I know they're sitting here waiting because of their shots just like me, but it's just still strange. It's like if you're in the restroom and you're standing at the urinal and there's all these other empty spots and the dude comes in and stands right next to you. Big faux pas. And there's a little insider information, ladies, for how it is in the men's toilet. Other than stinky. It's always stinky in there. But anyway, that was just kind of an interesting twist for Mando. Haven't seen anything like that really for a while, or anything ever like that on that show. So different turn for them. I know it's all going to tie together, and that's awesome. And it was good. It's a good story. It's interesting, but it just seemed out of place. That's all. It felt more Andor-ish than Mando. All right, I'll quit talking about it now. Nothing else really that I can think of off the top of my head where I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta talk about this. We've been watching a lot of comedy stuff lately. Bert Kreischer's newest stand-up on Netflix. We watch Chris Rock's. We love Jim Gaffigan. We watch a lot of his stuff. But But yeah, Bill Burr, got the wife finally to watch some Bill Burr. She really liked him. So that's kind of it. Nothing else too special. What else have I been reading? Nothing really. I did start reading one series that I just picked up a trade paperback of it. Let me see if I can find it here, what it's called. But it's really interesting. It's like in the Old West, but it's vampires. It is called West of Sundown. And yeah, it's exactly what I just said. It's a kind of a creepy vampire story, but it's set in the Old West. So did kind of start reading that and going through that. It's really interesting. And now I see Swamp Thing Green Hell. I'm 2 issues behind on that one. So that'll be a fun read as well. I'll have some time because I'll be on planes about 3 hours each way. Pretty close to it. Anyway, that's it on reading. Nothing else special there. Let's see. Gaming. What have I been playing as far as games and stuff? Not a lot. I did buy, there was a sale on Humble Bundle that I picked up, and it's a sale where, you know, they'll do these bundles of games that you can buy, and they kind of have a theme around them. And this one was, women heroines. So different heroines in games that are female. And the first one that comes to mind that's just huge that's on it is the game Control. Now, that game has been around a few years, but I know that almost everybody who's played that game insists that it's their favorite game of all time. So that one was included and several others, and it was like, I want to say like $15 for 8 games or something like that, which is awesome. So be kind of playing through that a little bit. Oh, I know another one that's on there that I was really excited to play was Sable. I don't know if you've heard of that one. It's from a couple years ago, but it's kind of an interesting looking art to it. A little different from stuff like Control. More of a cel-shaded look to it. It's awesome. Really cool. Kind of a coming of age story. Of this tribe of people that kind of lives out in the desert. It's really cool. But yeah, those games, I haven't really played a lot of them. I played Sable for a little bit. I haven't even played Control yet, but I need to. I've heard it's awesome, and I want to be able to sit down and play it. Just haven't had a chance. And I've also dodged a bullet several times. They're having a bunch of huge sales on Steam right now. Came so close to buying a couple games and then just kind of backed off of them. Because, I got to play the ones I got. I would love to have Doom Eternal and just play a lot of that, but when am I going to play a lot of that? I'm probably not. So there's no point in it. Yeah. All right. Podcast. What have I been listening to there? I mean, nothing new there either. The I Survived just had a new episode this week. Really interesting. Almost all those episodes are heartbreaking, but it is interesting to see how sometimes horrifying events like that can, even though I wish that on nobody, it can create better humans. And I guess people are going to go one of two ways in that situation, right? They're either going to, spiral down into a total meltdown and their lives will be ruined forever. Or they can, take what happened and use it to help improve who they are and how they do things. And I love stories like that. And it seems more often than not, that's what you get out of these stories. So, pretty interesting. That's about it, guys. I mean, not much else out there that I can think of off the top of my head. Once again, I do appreciate you guys listening. It's awesome. And I hope you're enjoying some of the crap that I'm droning on and on about. Because it's kind of fun stuff for me, But, yeah. That's it, guys. I appreciate you listening. I probably won't have an episode next week. I'd almost guarantee it. But I'll get back to you guys after that and have a fresh episode for you after we get back from our trip. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. It's raining like crazy. I got out and I actually seeded the lawn a little bit last night. My wife really wanted that done before we left. And, yeah, man, I covered the entire lawn with grass seed and some super fast acting patch seed and stuff like that. So if you're around in my neighborhood and you do me a real nice favor, get off my lawn.